Those were our top 10 fiction titles. One interesting thing about reading is that different people have different reading preferences. I regularly meet people who read only fiction and have little patience for non-fiction books. They usually say something like, "My life is serious enough. Fiction makes me relax and get into an unreal world." I also meet people who will never spend a minute reading novels or any type of fiction books. They stick to biographies, business, or motivational books. Well, like I always say, there's a book for everyone. So it's time to look at the channel's book club's top 10 Nigerian non-fiction books for 2016. Add this to the fiction titles and you have a top 20. Here they are.
Known and Strange Things by Teju Cole. Here, Teju Cole, the author of popular fiction books, delves into non-fiction and produces a book that has already been long-listed for important international awards. It's a collection of more than 50 essays on politics, photography, travel, history, and literature. Cole shares his thoughts and unique perspectives on famous personalities like James Baldwin and a variety of commonly discussed and debated black subjects. Blue Skies, Red Seas by Bolu and Larry Onosanya. This book tackles depression head-on. It exposes it as one of the world's deadliest epidemics and offers practical solutions on how to handle it. Keeping one foot in neuroscience and another in behavioral change, this book serves as a guide for staying joyful and depression-free. It uses captivating stories to provide healing for anyone suffering depression. Long-Throat Memoirs by Yemisi Aribisala. Nigerian food is known to be mouth-watering and spicy. Those are two descriptions that fit this collection of essays about Nigerian food. Aribisala's Long-Throat Memoirs is an appraisal of the cultural, politics and erotic of Nigerian cuisine. It's also a series of love letters to the Nigerian palate. It's an adventure into the creation, creativity, peculiarities and seductions of Nigerian food. Like its subject, you may just find this book irresistible. A Raging River by Amara Van Leer. This book reads like a fiction, but it's not. It's the heart-wrenching story of a young African woman who was pressured into early marriage, a marriage that became like a living hell. Intimidated, oppressed, abused, and brutalized, Chika needed every strength in her and much more to survive a tragic marriage and live to tell the story. At a time when many African women are reluctant to openly talk about their horrifying experiences in oppressive marital relationships, Amara Van Leer bears it all in this book.
Then in the church we were attending, who is the happiest couple here? They'll say Amara and her husband. But I was going through hell. On Sundays, I put on my sunshade. People were seeing the designer dresses, the designer sunshade, the designer bags and shoes. But I had blood spots in my eyes under the sunshade. It's not what you see. People saw a girl who was just enjoying her life. It was none of those things. And some people will ask women, okay, the man was that bad and you had 4 children, 5 children, 6 children for him. If he was abusing you, why? And I tell people, don't say that. Abusers will make you feel worthless. You feel useless. When I was with him, it was difficult looking straight into people's eyes. Because at that point, my self-esteem, that's the first thing abusers do. They will destroy your self-esteem. You begin to see yourself as useless. You begin to see yourself as nothing without him or her.
On the 14th of April 2014, 276 girls from the Chibok Secondary School in northern Nigeria were kidnapped by Boko Haram terrorist group. Many of them were never heard from again. Helen Habila, who grew up in northern Nigeria, returned to Chibok and gained intimate access to the families of the kidnapped to offer a devastating account of this tragedy that stunned the world. Habila tells the stories of the girls and the anguish of their parents, chronicles the rise of Boko Haram and the Nigerian government's response, and captures the seeming indifference of the media and the international community whose attention has moved on. Nigeria 2.0 by Dayo Adedayo. Over several years, Dayo Adedayo did something that probably no other Nigerian had ever done. He traveled to every local government in the country taking photographs that capture the history, monuments, and landscapes of his vast country. He put a lot of those photographs and the stories behind them in this fascinating coffee table book that should join your collection of books on Nigeria.
The whole thing started with me looking for images on Nigeria. I studied photography, and as 10-15 years ago, if you go on the internet wasn't that much then, but there is no library in the world where you find a pictorial book on Nigeria as you see of other countries. Shell did one, which wasn't comprehensive, but the only one that I saw that could say, okay, this is Nigeria, was by the National Geographic Society. It was a very tiny book, less than 50 pages, and the cover were two Fulani ladies with, what is it called, on their hair, calabash or so, by the side of the road, you know. And to me, that is not the story of Nigeria.
The King and the Colony. Small-sized, yet packed with so much. The King and the Colony, an illustrated book, tells the story of the history of Lagos from 1550, when it was occupied by the people of the Benin Kingdom, to end the colony in 1906. It's a book from which young readers, tourists, and just about anyone keen on Nigerian history will learn little-known facts about how the British occupied Lagos and the battles between the Lagos Kings and the British for power. It's a story of bravery, war, and cooperation between two nations that will in turn lay the foundation for the creation of Nigeria.
I think there's been a lack of attention, particularly recently, I think over the last 20, 30 years, that history was taken off the national curriculum. And so, besides my amateur love for history, I also felt a social responsibility to make history accessible to as many Nigerians as possible. And there are a couple of us who feel that way, and that's what's pushing me to write these books. I feel a social responsibility.
For Sam by Jimmy Jisoo. For Sam features some of the ideas drawn from rare and remarkable interviews from a cross-section of famous Nigerian personalities. You'll find Fela's thoughts on his music and politics, Festus Keyam's views on Nigerian justice, Charles Benson's opinion on the Yoruba, the symbol of Lagwada's mask, and Pastor Adefarasi's thoughts on the Pentecostal movement, and much more. With this book, veteran journalist Jimmy Jisoo has managed to preserve some of the most important thoughts, ideas, and interviews for history. The Essential Guide to Land Acquisition in Nigeria by Yomi Fawaimi. This is a detailed handbook on land and real estate acquisition in Nigeria. Using a combination of law, management, street knowledge, and professional judgment, Fawaimi offers a book that could become a vital resource for anyone hoping to acquire land or real estate in the country. Though rich in references, it's easy to read and will prepare the reader to navigate the complex web of land transactions in Nigeria. Secrets of the Streets by Teju Babyface. Not too many Nigerian entertainment celebrities have written books, and it's great to find one of them releasing something different from a memoir. Written by one of Nigeria's most accomplished entertainers, this book provides answers for any young person desirous of experiencing a successful career in the entertainment industry or any other industry. It's a unique blend of comedy and motivation for any ambitious young person.
So, what do you think? We'll be happy to get your own list and compare. Please feel free to send us your feedback via any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. I am Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.